Okay, we're going to do some number formation today, and we're going to see if we can write the numbers from 0 to 10. So we're going to start with number 0. If you don't have a pencil and paper, you can do it with me by drawing in the air. You can draw on your hands, you can draw on your arms. If you go outside, you could even try and draw with chalks, or you could try and make the numbers out of sticks, but always ask an adult first. So let's have a go drawing the numbers from 0 to 10. So from 0, we're going to go round, a bit like a circle, and back up again. So it's a bit like a circle that's been squashed, and it's all made of curves. Now, the next number is number 1, it's the next biggest. So we're going to go in a straight line that goes down. Very easy, just one straight line, and it's for number 1. The next biggest number is number 2. So we're going to make a line that goes up and around, a bit like a sad face, or a bit like the handle of an umbrella. And then we're going to go a diagonal line. Diagonal means that it's pointing at the corner. So you can see that my line is pointing at the corner of the page. And then I'm going to do a line that goes straight across, just like that. The next number, 0, 1, 2, is number 3. It's the next biggest. So I'm going to start off the same way as the number 2, with that little curved, that little sad face, but I'm going to turn it into a bump. And then I'm going to turn it into a bump that goes the other way. So this one is made up of lots of curves. The next number I'm going to try, the next biggest, is number 4, and it's made up all of straight lines. It starts a bit like the number 1. It goes down, but it stops halfway down. And then we're going to lift our pen or our pencil or our finger in the air, and we're going to go straight across. It's a bit like drawing the corner, a bit like the corner of a window, and then a little line that goes down again. So almost like somebody who's looking in the window, number 4 made up all of straight lines. The next biggest number, number 5, starts a bit like the number 1. It also starts a bit like the number 4 with the line that goes straight down. But this is where we change to the curve. So it's going to have a curve a bit like a number 3, a big rounded bit. And then we're going to put a little hat on it, or a little top, by making a line that goes straight across. The next number, number 6, is one made up all of curves. It's going to go round and up to the middle in a kind of a spiral shape. It starts a little bit like a letter C that's been squashed. And then we're going to try number 7, which is made up of straight lines. It has a line that goes across. So it starts a little bit differently from any of these numbers, and then it has one of these tricky bits, those diagonal lines that point straight to the corner. So I'm going to do the little line that goes straight to the corner and stop. It's a bit pointy, a bit like part of a triangle. The next biggest number is number 8, and it starts off a bit like a letter S. So it's all curves. We start off by making the letter S and turning our hand round at the bottom. And then we've got to join it up, just like that. The next biggest number, number 9, is rounded. Starts with a curve. It's a bit like we're about to draw a circle, but then we stop. Or it's a little bit like a letter C, then we stop and we draw a little line that goes straight down, a little line a bit like a number 1. And the last number we're going to do is number 10. And we've already drawn the 2 numbers that are inside number 10, but we're going to draw them the other way round. So instead of starting with our 0 and our 1, we're going to start with a 1 and a 0. So a straight line down to make our 1, and a round squash circle shape to make our 0. It's the only number that we're drawing today that has 2 digits, the 1 and the 0. These little bits are called the digits. These are all single digit numbers from 0 to 9, and then it changes to 2 digits. So that was really good drawing. Well done. Very, very pleased. Now I'm going to try and make the amounts of these numbers, make the number value. And to help me with that, I've got a big bucket of cubes here. So I'm going to pop them out. Oh, push them off my page. Oh, that's great. And I'm going to start with my colours. Because it's autumn, I'm going to start with my autumn colours. But do I need to make anything for number 0? No, because 0 is the empty set. 0 means nothing. So I'm going to start by putting out the cubes for number 1. And I'm going to start with a nice autumny colour. I'm going to start with brown. There's a nice brown cube, just one on its own, number 1, like the one straight line. Then I'm going to try and make number 2, and I'm going to use another autumn colour. I should have plenty of orange, so I'm going to put one cube and one more together to make the number 2. And there they are. It's a little bit like the number 1, but it's gotten one bigger because it's the next number. It's one more. So now we'll try the colour. We'll try black for number 3. This is the colour the leaves would go if they started to die at the end of autumn. So I'm going to do number 2 was one more. Can you see the number 1? Number 3 is going to be a bit like number 2, but it's going to have one more. So there we go, a bit like the 2, but one more, number 3. That's looking really lovely. Now I'm going to try white to make number 4. Push them together. So there's a little bit like the one I've just made, exactly the same size, but I'm going to have to do it one bigger, one more to make my number 4. This is really good. I'm going to move them down a little bit so I can give them a bit more room. Just like that. Now, number 5. We better get another autumny colour on the go. We'll get some yellow. Sometimes the leaves are nice and yellow. And there we go. A little bit like the one we've just made, but I'm going to add the 1 on the end. Let's see if I can push it in place. That's great. Now, what about another autumny colour? Blue? No. Black. We've done that one already, haven't we? Pink? No. How about some red? Sometimes the leaves are red also. So let's push those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like the one we've just done. But we'd better add that extra one, that one more, because it's one bigger. Let's try number 7 now. What colours have we not done? I hope I have enough colours. Well, I know that I haven't used purple yet, and I haven't used pink, and I haven't used blue, and I haven't used green. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 colours I haven't used, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So that's really good. That works really well. So how about trying purple for the number 7? So let's see if I can make it the same length as the number 6 and then add one more. There we go, the same length as number 6, and I'm going to add my one more. Brilliant for number 7. These need to be moved a wee bit closer together. There we go. Now number 8, so I'm left with my 3 colours. Oh, let's have a look at all my cubes. There doesn't look like there's a lot of pink, and it's a bit smaller than 9 and 10. So maybe I should go for pink first. Let's try 8 pinks. Will there be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There actually might have been enough to make it all the way to 10, mightn't there? Because there are some left, but we've used it for the 8 now. So we'll pop it beside the number 7 and we'll check that it's one bigger. Now number 9, I wonder if there are more green cubes than there are blue. Let's have a little check and see. Let's match the green cubes with the blue cube. Matching is just when you pair them up. So we're matching them to see which one we have more of. And maybe we should use the one we have more of to be the 10. I wonder if we'll have more or will we have the same of both colours. Let's see. Oh, we're doing quite well with the matching. A blue one for a green one. A blue one for a green one. A blue one for a green one. And let's see, a blue one for a green one. Oh. And I'm pushing all my cubes up so you can see. that I don't have any more greens and blues left. That's all the colours I have. My greens and blues are all done. And, oh, I've noticed a wee mistake. We better change those over. And I have the same amount of greens as I have blues because they're all matched and there are no extra ones. So it doesn't matter which one I use for 9 and which one I use for 10. So how about, because I've got the greens first and 9 is my next number, I just try and slot them together to make 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's pop up beside number 8 and check that it's one more, and it is. And then, oh, I must have had 10 because I have one extra one and I don't need this one extra one anymore. So I can put it away with the others. So if I had one extra green one and I had the same amount of blue, then I must have 10 blues. Let's check and see if that's right. So we'll match them up to the green again, but we'll make them into their little column. Okay, so now we have 9, exactly the same, and there's our one little extra one to make the 10. So we can see the pattern that every time we add a new number, the next number, it has got one more. Or if we start at the 10, every number has got one less. We're taking them away. So we're adding when we're counting up, adding one on, and when we're taking away one when we're counting down. So let's say if I wonder if we turned the page around a little bit, would it be like a set of stairs? Let's have a little look and see. Could we walk up the stairs? And could we walk down? I think we could. Oh, it's like a little triangle. So let's walk up the stairs. And you know, you can use your stairs when you're counting up to 10. Use the stairs in your house as well. And also you can use them when you're counting down. That's really good. And we're about to do some counting now. So let's turn it back round. Brilliant. That's looking really nice. And we'll get, because it's Halloween, we'll get our spider out and we'll get him ready to do some counting with us. So let's see if we can get this in a nice good position. Yeah, there we go. And we'll pop our spider at the top. So we're going to do counting up. And when we count up, when the numbers are getting bigger, the spider's going to be on the top. But when we're counting down and the numbers are getting smaller, the spider's going to be along the bottom. And that's how we'll know the difference. So let's see if we can count from 0 to 10 and 10 back down to 0. You have a wee go now as well. Off we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's really good counting. Let's make him go back down then from 10 to 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Really well done, really good counting. Now that was almost too easy. Let's see if we can count from a different starting place other than 0. And to help, I've got a dice for that. And I've also got my Halloween bucket. So I'm going to put my dice into my Halloween bucket and I'm going to give it a little shake. There we go. And when I tip it out, it's going to tell us what number we should start at. But because a dice only has numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, those are going to be the numbers we start with. A dice doesn't have 0 and it doesn't have the numbers 7, 8, 9, 10. Not a regular dice for a game anyway. So I can see that there are 1, 2, 1 in each of the corners, and there's 1 in the middle. I wonder if we can find a set of cubes that matches that. The number is 1, 2, 3. Let's look at number 3. Looks a little bit different though. Let's put them side by side. But are there still 3? Maybe if we turned it round like this, so it showed the diagonal line from corner to corner. It is the same, isn't it? 3 and 3. It doesn't matter how we set them out. It's it's still the same number. So there we go. It looks the same as the dice now, but that was what it looked like when it was a column. So we're going to start with number 3. And I'm going to put my little dice beside number 3, beside the numeral, so that we can remember that the dice pattern, the column and the numeral, it's all the same. And we're going to bring Mr. Spider back so we can start at number 3. Let's turn him around so he's ready to count. Okay, this time we're going to count from 3 to 10 and back down, but we have to remember to stop at number 3, and that could be quite tricky. Let's have a go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was really good counting forwards. But now I wonder, can we count backwards? This will be the hard bit because we have to remember to stop at number 3. Let's give it a go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, good. I remembered to stop at 3. That was really good. Let's see if we can try doing our dice 2 more times. So I'm going to put it back into the bucket. Give it a shape. And I'm going to tip it out. Oh, it's a different number. This time it's a little bit like the number 3, but it doesn't have the one at the top corner and it doesn't have the one at the bottom corner. It just has one in the middle. I wonder if we can find a value. Wonder if we can find a column that's the same as this. Oh, it'll be down on this end because this is where the smaller numbers are. Ah, there it is. Number 1, like 1 on its own, like 1 dot. This is the match for our dice pattern. It's just number 1. So we're going to have to do quite a long count now, starting at number 1 all the way up to 10. Let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was really good counting, I can tell. Let's try and go back down. We'll go backwards. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we remembered to stop on number 1. That's great. This is the last time we're going to use our dice, the last time we're going to do our counting. So let's take our dice and let's pop it back in the bucket. I hope it's not going to be a number 1 because we've already done a number 1. And I hope it's not going to be a number 3 because we've already done a number 3. The other numbers it could be a 2. We haven't had a 2. It could be a 4. We haven't had a 4, or a 5, or a 6. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it's going to be a different one of those numbers. It can't be a bigger number because those are the only numbers on our dice, on this particular dice. So let's have a look and see. What's it going to be? Oh! Well, it's definitely not a 1 because it doesn't have 1 in the middle. It's definitely not a 3 because it's not a diagonal shape. It has a dot in every corner. And there are 4 corners of the face of this little dice, which is called a square. The dice is a cube. The face is called a square. There is a little dot in every corner, and there are 4 corners. So that means there must be 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can we find... Well, there's our number 4, and there's our 4. Looks a little bit different, but how about if we take those cubes and we set them out so it looks a little bit more like the dice pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, or 2 on the side and 2 on the side, because 2 and 2, like the 2 flies and 2 flies, together made 4. 4 all together. So when we put our column, when we click them all together, it's the same number, and this is the numeral that it matches. So let's get our little... Oh, we better put our 4 up at the top, just like we've been doing. And we better get our spider at the ready. He's going to start on number 4, and we're going to count forwards from 4 to 10, and then backwards from 10 to 4. This is the last time. Let's make it a really, really good one. Off we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely counting forwards. Let's count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Did you remember to stop? I remembered to stop. Well done. Now, if we had lots of time, we might shuffle our cubes and see if we could put them back in order. But maybe we'll leave that for another time. I think we've done a lot of work today. We've done all of our number formation. We've matched the numeral to the amount of how many cubes there are. And we've also done our counting forward and backward, starting at different starting points. I think we've done well today. Some other day, we might try to put them back in order. But for today, that's lots. If you did that at home, well done. Keep practicing your numbers. Use the stairs at home. Count your numbers outside. Practice drawing them. But always, if you're going to use a pencil or a pen or crayons or chalk, make sure an adult knows about it.